Another day, another EV. It's really raining EVs. Every manufacturer is bringing them, and BMW has got this, which is not its first, it's its second EV. The i4 comes after the iX. Now this is really a junior BMW or a junior EV, one that's meant to be more affordable and more accessible. Let's see what it's like. For a bit of perspective, the i4 is the all-electric version of the 4 Series Gran Coupe, which itself is the 4-door coupe derivative of the 3 Series. In size, the i4 is about as large as the standard wheelbase 3 sedan we are familiar with, give or take a few millimeters here and there. The flowing roofline and shorter rear deck lend the i4 a sexier silhouette, but it's the nose that's really big on shock value. The oversized kidney grille is loud and brash, a controversial design trend we are seeing on new BMWs. Housed under the floor is an 83.9 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack that powers the electric motor at the rear axle. On the i4 eDrive 40 that we are getting in India, the motor produces 340 horsepower and 430 Newton meters of torque and solely drives the rear wheels. With the mass positioned low and power going to the rear wheels, the i4 has the right ingredients and established itself as a fun driver's car even over the short drive at the iCAT facility in Manesar. So driving here on the iCAT track, well, you really don't get a feel of how it is dynamically because it's just straight and an oval, but what I can tell you is that steering, it's pretty responsive. Ride seems to be quite good. Don't forget this has got air suspension at the rear, so in that sense it's pretty comfortable. And what's really good is that performance. I mean, unlike EVs which just suddenly fall off a cliff once you hit the top end, this one keeps going on and on quite a bit, and you can get up to some pretty serious speeds. The BMW i4 can go from 0 to 100 clicks in a claimed 5.7 seconds and tops off at 190 kph. So the i4 drives like a BMW, and there's more than a bit of familiarity on the inside as well. The dashboard is dominated by a 14.9-inch touchscreen that flows into the 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, much like we've seen on the iX. But unlike the iX that's built on a bespoke EV platform, the i4 that's based off an ICE platform doesn't have a floating dash or flat floor. The rear seat too doesn't offer the flexibility or sense of space a born electric car would. Well, the back seat, really not the place to be. It is cramped, you sit in a knees up position, and you've got this central hump which kind of betrays the fact that this was originally an ICE platform or one with an internal combustion engine. So really for someone sitting in the middle, it's not comfortable at all. But overall, looking at the car, in terms of equipment, it's got a fair bit. The large screen aside, the feature includes 3-zone climate control, LED ambient lighting, a sunroof, a 17-speaker Harman Kardon surround system, and a rear air suspension. But equipment is a bit of a mixed bag because to get a good price point, they have eliminated some key features. For example, there's no heads-up display, and even the passenger side doesn't have the all-way locking. So that is a bit of a miss. But again, speaking about the price point, around 70 lakhs, not bad for a BMW, and one that drives pretty well too. Yes, you heard that right. BMW has priced the all-electric i4 at a shade under 70 lakhs, which is impressive by current luxury EV standards. The i4's pricing means it costs just a bit more than a 5 Series, and that's sure to get many interested. The i4 supports up to 205 kilowatt DC charging, though owners will likely make most of the 11 kilowatt AC charger that's provided with the car. A 0 to 100 charge would take around 8.5 hours with the AC charger. This leads me to the big talking point, the i4's range, which is the most of all EVs sold in India till now. And of course, what every EV buyer wants to know is how good the range is. Well, test conditions, this is 500 plus, which is pretty good. I think in the real world, 400 also should be possible. So from a range point of view, really not too much of an issue. Pricing wise, around 70 lakhs. That's not bad for an EV with a BMW badge on that nose. And what a nose.